All right, Carrie, thanks. Now 8:15, and I'm joined now by Aaron Peary and Leslie Pica of the group Consciousness Rising. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate your time. We want to talk to, they're from the University of Dayton, and they're working to end human trafficking by eliminating one victim at a time. And you're heading up the second annual Consciousness Rising conference. But first, let me ask, what is Consciousness Rising? Let's start with you, Aaron.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Consciousness Rising, it's a 3-day convention, and we, last year it started mostly on human trafficking, and now we're looking at other issues and how all of these issues are intertwined. So we have 3 main tracks that we're focusing on. We have the achievement gap, we have obviously human trafficking and the over-sexualization of culture, looking at the supply and demand, and then finally we have corporate social responsibility to see what role businesses play in these social justice issues.
Well, this is the second year for this 3-day event, and so, Leslie, what can we expect?
Yeah, we can expect a lot of great work, especially that's been done by the students here. So as Aaron mentioned, this is a student-led conference in which we're really looking at these various issues, especially having difficult conversations about the racial climate on our University of Dayton campus, for example. So in terms of, I think that to some viewers it may not seem apparent in terms of how the campus climate and racism within our culture relates to human trafficking and relates to some of these broader issues. But ultimately we're looking at these sort of broader systemic issues and trying to have difficult conversations in terms of with faculty, with students, with staff. So we've got dialogue sessions taking place. We have a student-led conference in terms of the speaker, the interactive exhibits that we have. Thank you. So we've got so much going on here. And I think too, in terms of looking at these issues, and I'll be honest in terms of saying, especially when we're looking at the racial climate, it's not always comfortable to talk about race and ethnicity. Usually people don't walk away from a conversation about race and ethnicity and say, wow, I feel really good about that. Usually folks feel uncomfortable and folks feel frustrated and guilty, but we're having these kinds of difficult conversations because we're really trying to prepare our University of Dayton students for the broader impact in terms of the society, in terms of changing demographics with the culture, preparing our students for interacting with and working within a broader global economy. So at the University of Dayton, we're having these difficult conversations and preparing our students.
And this is an issue that we have to think globally too, because tell me, Aaron, how big is this problem of human trafficking? I mean, it's basically sex trade, slave trade.
And it's interesting. We do focus on sex trafficking because that's one of the largest ones. Currently, with there being 30 million slaves in the world today, that's no small number. Yeah, it's crazy. And we're not only focusing on sex trafficking, but looking at the labor trafficking and the debt bondage and agricultural slavery, and really tackling, okay, how does that stem in with race, and how does that connect with the achievement gap, and how does that connect with the corporate social responsibility and the supply chains within businesses, and really just getting a little bit deeper. And I know 30 million and looking at the achievement gap and looking at the statistics, it can be really overwhelming. But I think for me, one of my favorite parts about the conference is the empowerment that we focus on. So when you leave this convention, it's not, you won't feel comfortable, that's for sure, but you will understand that you have a role to play in this, and each person has their own strengths and their own gifts. And I don't know, it's exciting. It's really exciting to see.
So, all right, tell us, you really have dissected this issue in this short interview for sure, and how can we get involved? What's the hours? Where do we go? What should we do?
Yeah, well, we have first, actually, fairly shortly after this interview right here, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and again from 11 to noon, we have an anti-racist teach-in taking place at Sears Recital Hall. It certainly is open to the public, so we'd love to have folks there. So with Dr. Eddie Moore Jr., so he'll be leading us in terms of talking about some of these broader issues, and especially too how it relates to folks here in Dayton, and especially at the University of Dayton campus. So we also have campus climate discussions taking place with students. Tomorrow we've got a lot of great interactive exhibits taking place as well too.
Thanks to the university for doing this and engaging the community, and thank you too for showing up today and talking about. Good luck to you in your mission.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.